In Korea, liquefied petroleum is a popular source of energy used in both homes and automobiles. Hundreds of portable tanks filled with this combustible gas fill the station. With the addition of heat, each one is now a time bomb waiting to go off. But the biggest danger is a tanker truck, which was refilling an underground storage container when the fire began. Flames quickly enveloped the truck, heating the fuel inside to an explosive level. From across the street, firefighters desperately try to extinguish the flames. Then the firemen retreat. They fear that the liquid petroleum will erupt at any second. The tanker explodes, creating a fireball over 150 feet in diameter that launches more than 1,000 feet into the air. Burning debris is also blown 300 feet into the surrounding neighborhood, causing thousands to flee their homes.
여기 있는 사람들, 공장의 손님들도 다 맨발에 다 도망갔습니다.
The blast ignites a chain reaction as the portable tanks begin to explode. Believing the worst is over, firefighters return to the blaze. They have no idea of the disaster that waits for them. Firemen are caught off guard when a storage tank erupts, causing a second massive explosion. More than a dozen firemen are injured in this unexpected blast.
피한다고 피했는데 그 불길 터지는 속도가 빠르니까 내가 피하는 속도보다 그 불길 터져나오는 속도가 빠르니까.
The fire spreads to the surrounding buildings. Firefighters continue to battle the flames, but ultimately they must wait for the inferno to burn itself out. After 3 hours, the flames are finally brought under control. The devastation they leave behind resembles a war zone. The final tally, 8 buildings destroyed, 46 people injured. Surprisingly, no one is killed. This disaster shows the devastating power of a particular kind of explosion, called a BLEVE.
BLEVE is an acronym that firefighters use to explain boiling, liquid, expanding vapor explosion.
As seen in this test, BLEVEs occur when a sealed tank holding flammable liquid is exposed to fire. As the liquid boils, pressure created by the expanding gas inside the tank grows until it finally explodes. Some of the most spectacular BLEVEs have occurred at train derailments. 1983, a wrecked train with 11 tank cars holding highly combustible materials bursts into flames near Murdoch, Illinois. Safety supervisor George Wineland rushes to the scene to assess the situation.
It was elected not to make any attempt to extinguish the fire or control it because the water just was not available to us.
With no way to extinguish the blaze, concern grows that tank cars filled with liquid petroleum gas could erupt into BLEVEs. Firefighters pull back and police evacuate a 1-mile area surrounding the fire, but a TV news crew chooses to stay behind, a half a mile from the flames.
The fire is making a sound like a jet liner taking off. Something apparently blew up just a couple of minutes ago and started this big roar of flames and the sound of a jet liner.
What the news crew doesn't know is that the noise they are hearing is a warning of impending BLEVE. Fuel discharge from a ruptured car has stoked the fire, and the flames are now heating another car carrying propane gas. Moments after the reporter signs off, 30,000 gallons of boiling propane pushed the tank's metal walls to the breaking point.
Okay, get the tape on. Leave it up.
The news crew feels the heat wave from the blast. Levies from liquid petroleum gases like propane are much hotter than those from other fuels, making them much more dangerous.
Bystanders or people within the vicinity up to 1,000 feet could suffer burns from the radiant heat from the fireball that's been released.
Liquid petroleum gas levies also have more force, which can turn exploding tanks into airborne missiles. The 6-ton tank car in this blast rockets nearly 3/4 of a mile into a field.
At the Murdoch explosion, the propane car that levied set a record and traveled 3,640 feet.
We need to go, Andy. Let's get in her and go.
Shocked by the power of the blast, the news crew retreats 2.5 miles from the derailment. As night falls, the flames finally make their way to a nearby tank car filled with highly flammable isobutane. This latest levy creates a blinding whiteout as 50,000 gallons of fuel is ignited. Fortunately, just 4 minutes before the blast, George Wineland manages to escape the scene.
We were about 1/4 of a mile when that car went apart, and it just put our vehicle, picked it up, and shoved it down the road.
48 hours after it started, the fire has burnt itself out. Because the evacuation is swift and thorough, these explosions are the first major levies in the United States that do not